Good evening, everyone. Sorry, that's a little loud. And welcome to our spring band concert. Thank you all for being here tonight to support our musicians. This concert represents months of hard work, practice, and dedication from every member of the band. Our program this evening features a variety of music that highlights not only the technical skills of the ensembles, but also the creativity and expression that make live music so special. From powerful and energetic pieces to more lyrical and emotional selections, we hope there's something for everyone to enjoy. At this time, we ask that you please silence your cell phones and remain seated during each performance. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the music as we begin our spring band concert.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight and support Kiddos Up on Stage. I think this might be the largest crowd we've had for a band concert since I've been here as band director, so thank you all for coming out. The ensemble that you see up on stage in front of you is Percussion Ensemble, and this group is made up of students grades 9 through 12. Some are primarily percussionists, but others are wind players, or this might be their first year in band since they were in 4th or 5th grade. We got a good mix of skill levels and backgrounds up here on the stage, and you can see it's made up of a bunch of different instruments from the timpani all the way over here. We even have a synthesizer in the back here that you'll see on this next piece. The first one you heard was Pistoleros by Brian Slauson. The percussion ensemble for the spring concert decided they wanted to do another theme. And so our theme is Wild West. So first, this piece kind of took you through what it would be like if you heard a duel from the Wild West. You heard a horse galloping when the snare drum came in, and then the town went quiet as they went into a standoff, and then it came to a climactic finish there at the end. Next up, we're going to slow things down a little bit with a piece by James Vilsack titled Starfall. This is more kind of invoking the cowboys sitting around a campfire, telling their stories. You see the moonlit canyon cliffs and the glow of the fireside, and you'll see a bunch of boards used, keyboards here, and some really cool extended techniques. So you'll hear shooting stars go across the sky, and some really rich harmonies that invoke the Wild West and the big painted sky. And at the very end, you'll hear the sunrise. Here is Starfall. To introduce our final piece for the percussion ensemble, I would like to welcome up our ensemble representative, Judah Willard, to introduce the song that he himself arranged.
Hi guys, I'm Judah Willard. The next song you're about to hear is called Humoresque of a Little Dog by Keiichi Suzuki. I had a lot of fun arranging it. I think it's a really fun song. I think everyone in the ensemble's had a lot of fun preparing it, and I think you guys will like it a lot. It's a very upbeat and fun ragtime piece, and I think you guys will like it a lot.
So what Judah forgot to mention, which is totally fine, is to round out our Wild West theme, we had old-timey duel, and then we got to sit around the campfire and see the beautiful sky. And now, like every Western ends, we have to travel to the saloon to hear the town's musician play some ragtime on the piano. So here is Humoresque. hear it one more time for Judah's arrangement. That beat. That was awesome. Very fortunate to have some amazingly driven students. Judah being one of them. He always comes into my office like once a week and he's like, hey, you want to see the arrangement that I'm working on? This one's for wind ensemble. This one's for regression ensemble. This one's for and we do this for marching band, right? He's always trying to arrange something for us, so always happy to program that. We are going to turn the stage over. We have a lot of equipment to move now to set up for symphonic band. So during this transition, I would like to ask Lori Falstich from the Music Boosters to come up and speak on their behalf. And we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Lori Falstich, and you all have probably heard my spiel many, many times. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You know, the Boosters were a registered 501c3. We support all music across the district, K through 12. I do encourage you all to look us up on Facebook or the Instagram. We do have regular updates there, and you can really keep track of what's going on in the music department. So we post our concert schedule, we post our fundraisers, we post student achievements throughout the year and different activities. So it's a really good way to just keep in touch and see what's going on in music. Speaking of fundraisers, you might have noticed on the way in, and if not, you can catch them on the way out. We do have a car wash fundraiser going on, specifically to benefit our students who will be attending performance tour to Italy next spring. So just a little something to help them defray those costs. So if you need a car wash or you know someone who does, please pick up a ticket on your way out today. They'll be set up at all the concerts this spring, so you can catch them. You have many opportunities to catch them. I also just wanted to remind everyone we do collect renter's receipts as one of our fundraisers, and you can hand them to me, you can hand them in to the car wash people, you can hand them in to your band director anytime. Collect a bunch and then hand them in, and we really do appreciate that. I wanted to highlight our seniors on stage tonight. They all have boutonnieres that were gifted to them by the boosters, so if you see a senior, congratulate them. If you see a senior parent, congratulate them. For some of them, this is their last concert, but for some of them, they'll be back again on stage for the Pops concert on May 6th, or the choir concert on May 14th. Those are coming up. At the end of the month, May 26th, we do hold a music awards, and that is for all music students and parents here in the high school. There'll be more information coming up about that from your directors, but we do encourage you all to come, and boosters will have some light refreshments. So come and celebrate the year with us. Thank you all so much for supporting your students through their musical journey all the way to high school. Thank you for being here tonight and for supporting Again Good Music. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
thank you all so much for bearing with us through that transition. But our wonderful teachers, Mrs. McAdams and Mrs. Snakely, and all the percussion students do a lovely job every single concert getting this stage transition so quickly. So thank you so much for those folks for all their support and help for these events. The band you see up in front of you is our symphonic band. This group is made of students 9 through 12. And that first piece you heard was Kinetic Dances by Randall Standridge. He is an amazing modern band composer. That one, there are a couple different themes that you heard throughout that are meant to invoke different sort of movements and motions and things that you would see in dancing and kind of the motion that goes with them and the energy that they hold. It all comes to a nice climax there at the very end where all these themes kind of come together.
Hello, I am Nick Sharp. I'm in 12th grade and I am our symphonic band representative. I'd like to introduce our next piece, The Old Painted Door by Dan Austin. The Old Painted Door was inspired by the idea that everyday objects can hold deep memories and meaning. The composer imagined an old door, worn by time, standing as silent witness to years of life and stories. This piece is about reflection and moving between moments in life. As you listen, consider what memories might be behind the door and how the music brings those emotions to life. Maybe you'll even feel a connection to certain memories in your own life.
Our final selection for symphonic band this evening is called On a Tear by Todd Stalter. This piece is a really fun one. When buying these pieces for the students at the beginning of the school year, sometimes they have descriptions and sometimes they don't about what the pieces are. But I always listen to them and pick them off of what I think the students will really enjoy playing. And when I got this piece, I was actually surprised to hear what the premise of the piece was. So On a Tear has two meanings, and the first one kind of bookends the piece. You will hear puppy zoomies. So the beginning has this really fun 8-note run in the woodwinds that's kind of like this little puppy zipping around, with biting ankles, going everywhere. It kind of reminds me of my dog, okay? And then, this is actually inspired by the composer's family. The middle section is a little bit slower, a little bit more reflective, because while writing this piece, they actually lost their senior dog. So it's kind of this slow, reflective middle, kind of thinking about the impact that it had on family and their lives. And then, it stops, you take a breath, and all of a sudden this puppy comes back, zooming around the room, and you can't control it, and it ends in a wild finish. So here it is, On a Tear. flying off the podium. It is the second time. I should take that thing out. All right, now we are going to do a little quick switcheroo, a lot faster than the first one. We're going to bring the wind ensemble up on stage. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. This is our wind ensemble here at the high school. This is also an ensemble made up of students grades 9 through 12. And that first piece you heard was Sunbloom by Gavin Lent. It is a really fun piece that centers around the theme of a race, like a marathon. You hear at the very beginning, over here in the clarinets, some running eighth notes, like somebody getting ready, kind of amping themselves up, and then all of a sudden the race starts. And we hear all these different themes develop and all the feelings that you feel while you're doing some long distance running. And then there at the very end, you cross the finish line, things start to slow down, the heart starts to slow down, everything fades away in this awesome moment. Next up, I would like to introduce our ensemble representative, Everett Rudd, to introduce our next piece.
Our next piece is called Polly Oliver. It's by Thomas Root. It's about a man getting sent off to war, and his lover loves him so much that she follows him. You'll hear beautiful melodic lines that are very fun. Here's Polly Oliver.
While percussion finishes getting set up, I'll tell you a funny story about this one. So this is more from like the classic band literature side of things from many, many years ago. And you know, whenever I hand the piece out to the kids, I say, okay, what do you think this is about? I always play it for them. They can see the score up on the projector. They don't get to see the program notes, which is what it tells you, you know, the piece is about. And I said, what do you all think this is about? And was it Mick? Yeah, Mick goes, for some reason, they get it in their minds that this one's about cheese. So every time we go to play this, they like scream a new kind of cheese. It's, yeah, totally lost meaning, but, oh yeah, they have mozzarella, parmesan, somebody else has Budo written on their music, it's everywhere. So enjoy Polly Oliver, not about cheese. before I introduce our final piece of the evening, I want to let you know that our symphonic band and our wind ensemble on Tuesday went over to Exeter Senior High School and they participated in their first music performance assessment, which is a really fancy term for both of these groups getting to take 2 of their concert pieces of the 3 that they play for their concert over and with a bunch of other high schools in the area. Exeter was there, Parkland was there, Reading, Boyertown, so all these local high schools, and they get to perform it for some adjudicators, local college professors usually. And none of the students you see on stage tonight have gone to anything like this ever. And we go out, they did an amazing job, and it's graded on a scale of 1 to 5. It's kind of like golf. You want to get the lowest score possible. So everybody's striving for that score overall ranking of 1. And for our first time out, our symphonic band, on their prepared pieces, got a 3, which is really great. And our wind ensemble, our wind ensemble participated not only in their prepared pieces, but also a sight reading piece. So we all went to a room, very official. We went to their orchestra room, they all sat down, there was pieces of paper on their stand, and we got, this time, you have 5 minutes to look at this. You don't get to play it, you just get to look at it, practice along, and then we get 5 minutes to talk through it, then we play it for the first time ever. So 10 minutes of preparation, and you can't play your instrument at all, okay? And the students you see up on stage scored a 1 on their sight reading. They did a fantastic job. All this to say that every single student that you see out here today, whether it's an audience, on the stage performing, I'm super proud of them. They've done an amazing job this year performing and growing as musicians across the board. I'm so thankful to have some of the best students in the school as part of our program. So that's enough bragging about all of you and how awesome you are. Last piece for wind ensemble tonight is titled Oracles of the Sirocco. This is a piece inspired by the winds that blow across the deserts in northern Africa. So you're going to hear a lot of different motifs throughout the band that kind of reference, the motion of wind and the speed it can travel and how loud it can get and soft and quiet and slow. So here is Oracles of the Sirocco. we have reached the final piece and final ensemble of our night. So at this time, I would like to welcome the symphonic band back to the stage. We're going to combine both of our groups into our trademark name. It's trademark mega band. Okay, so both ensembles combined. They're going to play a piece for you, and we'll be back in just a moment. Before we play, I'm going to hand things over to our band president. That's not all right.
So, before we perform our last piece, I want to say a couple thank yous. Thank you to our booster parents, thank you to our volunteers. They're always here helping us out all the time, everywhere. They're always dealing with us. It's crazy. And then I want to say thank you to band council. Can you all stand up? Band council, all of you. Yeah. They're great. You guys can sit back down. And the last person I want to say thank you to is Mr. Player, obviously. You deal with us all the time, and you always support us. And so, you know, music is an art, right? So it's a little hard to put into materialistic things for your gift. So, Katie, do you want to come out? Here's our gift. Okay, now I can introduce our last piece. So our last piece is called Flourish for Wind Band, written by Ralph Williams. So this is like a really old piece. It was originally made in like the 1900s. It was supposed to be like an opening to like a pageant. Sorry if I offended anybody. But so it had gotten lost originally, and then it was like rediscovered, and then it was published again in the later part of the 1900s. It's supposed to be like a celebratory opener, so it's kind of like a, you know, it's just fun. It's fun, yeah. Yeah.
Before we head out tonight, I have a couple thank yous and a couple recognitions that I want to do. First, since we have almost every single musician in the instrumental department on stage, I would like to ask all of our senior members to stand, please. Go ahead, if you're a senior, stand up. These students have been with me for 3 years now, and it's been an honor and a privilege to get to be their teacher. They are some pretty amazing individuals. We're going to miss them a lot come next year. They contribute so much to our band, whether that's through their sound, through their culture that they help build, and their actions. So I just want to say a special thank you to all of our seniors on stage tonight. Other thank yous, one more time. Daniel and Elijah. Let's hear it for Daniel and Elijah. Final thank yous from me, obviously, to all of you. You were an amazing crowd. Thank you all so much for coming out and supporting the students up on stage. I know it means the world to them, and this is just a sign that our band program, our music program here at Daniel Boone is thriving. Thank you to all of our administrators, both here at the high school and over at district office, for making this program possible, and a super special thank you for allowing us to travel to our first MPA the other day. It was a great experience for the students, so thank you to them. Thank you to all the music teachers in the district, and a special thank you to my family who is here supporting me tonight, and to my wife and my dog who support me every single day. Got to shout out the dog. I wouldn't be able to do what I do with these amazing students up on stage without my support system. So thank you all so much. That's all for us tonight. Thank you all again for coming out, and safe travels home.